So Nick, I think you and I, do we need an award? I'd said earlier, it's a bit like park run. For someone that's done 100 park runs, you get a T-shirt. I've done this for 4 years now, and you're always here. So
I'm always here.
And we're very proud to say that you're one of the key sponsors of the event. Just introduce, everyone knows who you are, but just introduce yourself to our international audience as well. Go.
Hi, I'm Nick Tapp. I'm a director of JUNO Plant Protection, and I do a few other things as well. And Max interviewed me a couple of years ago about one of my other roles with Craigmore, which is a big farming and forestry business in New Zealand.
Okay. And this conference, to me, is constantly accelerating. Is that the right word? It just seems to be this nub of knowledge and expertise of R&D for the potato sector. Is the place. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I became a member of CUPGRA remarkably long time ago when it was still very new in the mid-80s probably. And it has been founded by Eric, and Eric is the principal driver for a very long time. The most extraordinary picker apart of knowledge and lack of knowledge and research into what is the most fascinating plant. And so, and sadly we no longer have Eric, but the conference has continued and CUPGRA has continued in fantastic health.
And his mercurial book, I was speaking to someone last night, and I won't name them, was talking about a particular retail buyer for this sector. And whenever, retail buyer and a technical expert for a retailer, and whenever he has a quandary, he gets out the book from his desk and goes back to basics, apparently, to get. So it's still there. So that foundation is still there, which I'm amazed about.
Yeah, and Eric was very good at identifying things that we didn't know about the potato, but also identifying things which we did know about the potato, but seemed to need to research and repeat and reaffirm again and again and again, rather than just continue to look for new things. But his work was good. This conference is fantastic because it brings the industry together, and it is now sadly a tiny industry. As someone said yesterday, there were 70,000 growers in 1953 or 51 or whatever, and now there may be 1,500. It is a small.
But isn't that is that evolution?
Absolutely.
Not revolution.
And of course.
Okay.
I mean, you go back to 1960. 61,000 or 71,000, whatever I said, farmers grew a small patch of potatoes. Most years it did okay. Occasionally it did so well they bought the farm next door. It was a bad. Now it's an industry.
Okay. And thank you. And speed bumps. My question being to a lot of people: what speed bumps do you see in this sector that hopefully the likes of this organisation, this conference, can and your expertise with what you do, what speed bumps would you like to see eradicated to assist this sector over the next 3-5 years?
I think that's really hard. I mean, Europe is facing a position where France has had its biggest crop ever after a biggest crop ever in 2024. Free-buy potatoes are 15 euros a tonne on the continent. Polish growers are ripping crops up with chisel ploughs, they can't sell them. That's a challenging backdrop. But the positive thing about potatoes is it clears every year. You don't store potatoes year on year, so you do get an opportunity to start again.
Control-Alt-Delete. Okay.
And so the building of relationships, long-term relationships with your customers, if you're a grower, is absolutely essential. You want your customers to love you and to need you. Okay,
so can I put in my word of the decade? Collaboration. We need to see this collaboration all the way through that partnership. Okay.
But it's an industry, as growers consolidate into fewer, larger units, so the working capital requirement is startling. And that should be recognised in the price. It may not always be.
And that we're not going to fix that over a cup of coffee here. Would you recommend the sector? You've had some fantastic roles in this sector, farming, agriculture. We've seen some increased numbers coming through into our agricultural institutions because of the likes of Jeremy and his team, which is great. Would you recommend this sector for people that might be just sitting on the fence as to where to go?
Absolutely. It's a fascinating industry. There's so much going on. People often look from the outside and see it in a very simplistic way. You're a farmer, or you're somewhere in the supply chain.
Yeah.
And yes, of course, that is broadly true, but within that, there's so much opportunity.
Well done. Debbie's calling us in. Favourite colour of tractor?
I want to talk about Mintoil.
Oh my God, good grief, go, tell us.
But the reason we're here as sponsors, JUNO Plantations here as sponsors, is because we distribute spear Mintoil as a sprout suppressant for use in potatoes in store. And the history of spear Mintoil goes back a long way, because if you look in old ancient Inca buildings that were used for storing food, you will find remnants of spearmint leaves. Mint leaves. And they were using it to control sprouting in potatoes. So roll forward to the 20th century, everybody knew that essential oils had some effect on sprouting. A French firm called Zeta did all the work in the 90s and early 2000s, got approval, European approval for use of spearmint oil, bulked into potato stores in 2009, approved in the UK in 2012. We were appointed distributors because we've had a very long relationship with Zeta, and in 2012, not many people were that interested. CIPC ruled the roost. It was cheap, effective. You could do it all wrong, it still worked. But very far-sighted David Nelson of Branston said CIPC will not last forever. We need to know what else is out there. We ought to try some. So he tried some. It did the job, not unexpectedly, and a few organic growers used it, and a few other growers. Roll forward to 2019, announcement of CIPC withdrawal in 2020. Suddenly, the phone rang off the hook. The processing industry, which had broadly ignored us, suddenly wanted to know everything about it. And we worked very hard with our small group of very professional label foggers to calm everybody down, to help resolve the situation, which at that time had effectively no other products other than ethylene in the market. But we, over the sort of period from 2012 to 2020, we had been met by a degree of sort of suspicion. Farmers are a bit nervous about natural products, and our spearmint oil is 100% steam distilled. Distilled's the wrong word, and I can't think of the right word, but it is 100% spearmint oil, so it's naturally occurring, it's organic, it's everything you want, but farmers are suspicious. So one of the reasons that we sponsored this conference, and we've sponsored a few other things over the years, is just to be there and to be present and to appear to just be part of the landscape rather than something that's new and scary.
When it's not, because the solution is thousands of years old.
And it's not CIPC, and one of the hiccups that we had in 2020 and 2021 was growers and users assuming it was just CIPC that had been relabeled. And of course it's not. It's a highly volatile product. You have to keep the door shut or it blows away. And the number of times someone's rung up and said it didn't work, and I wind it back and I find, you opened the door, didn't you? And so sponsoring this is very important. We think it's a fantastic event.
Well done, and we'll link your website so that everyone can have a look and your details so they can get engaged with you. We better get back in.
I've got to go. I've got a train to catch.
Thank you very much. Bye.